Aaron, I got to tell you, man, there were a lot of pistols that came out this year.
There were.
I mean, just in front of me, I've got the FN Reflex, the Beretta ADX Cheetah, the Sig AXG Combat, and the Legion 365. Great carry option, by the way.
Nice. I like yours, but I like mine better. Glock 47, DR 920L, got the Prodigy and MP 57.
All right, well, that's all fine and well. Okay. But let's talk about 5 pistols that aren't on the table because we find them to be, dare I say, superior. Let's talk about the top 5 pistols of 2023. Welcome back, everybody. Clint today with Classic Firearms. We've got the man, Aaron, back with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And you know, dude, I am baffled at how quick this year has already passed.
Yeah, it's flown by. We went from pumpkin spice lattes and we're ready. Christmas music playing. Fast that look.
Yep, Halloween was just like a week ago, and now it is Christmas time, apparently. I don't know. The Marine Corps birthday hasn't even passed yet, so y'all pump the brakes. Anyway, we've seen a lot of craziness this year. We've seen a lot of court cases and former presidents being indicted with this and that, and we've been seeing also all sorts of inflation and probably the beginning of World War III. I don't know. But one thing we have also seen that we want to talk about today is potential innovation in the firearms industry. Maybe. But ultimately, a lot of new guns, new pistols specifically, have been released for the year 2023. And Aaron and I and Ryan and quite a few of us on the team kind of narrowed down our top 5 favorite new pistols of 2023. You excited to talk about them?
I am, man. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. Brand spanking new, and our number 5, the Sig P226 XFive Legion. This guy, like I said, brand new. I mean, just this past month, I think they announced it, and we've got it right here in front of us. And I got to tell you, this thing is a work of art. It is beautiful. If you guys are familiar with Sig's Legion lines, you know that's like their upgraded all-metal frame, the more glamorous Sig, if you will. Before I start nitpicking it, what are some of the things you love about this pistol?
We can go back to the old
there you go.
226 model that I had. And honestly, this was my first gun I had when I was in law enforcement, and great piece of work here they did. Yeah. Amazing piece of work. The decocker, that was the one thing I never really fully understood on it, but yeah. I understand it, but it was something that I didn't see a need for when it comes to that. And I will say, definitely did a great piece with that. Now going to the Legion aspect of things, they've upgraded this in a million different ways. From your gas pedal, I mean, that grip feels amazing when it comes to that.
Yes.
Even the mag release, everything, top to bottom, everything just feels amazing when it comes to this pistol. So there's one thing I don't like, and we'll get to that in a second, but you tell me, and I'm sorry, the trigger also, that's another big thing.
Yes, the trigger is phenomenal. So just like what you guys have seen like on the X Macro and things like that, that integrated comp, they've thrown that on here as well, which is really nice. Picatinny on the bottom. The trigger that Aaron was just talking about is fantastic. This is obviously set up for competition, and you'll notice just how
the break is amazing.
Oh, yeah. And then the reset, just very little travel before you hit that audible and very tactile reset. Again, just applying a little bit of pressure, you hit that wall there, and then it breaks. I mean, dude, that's not much more than 3 pounds, if 3 pounds at all. It is cut for a red dot, but you do lose your rear sight. Keep in mind, Sig, why do you keep doing that to us? But here's my biggest thing. The controls all feel amazing. Do like the gas pedal, but the one control that doesn't feel amazing is the non-ambidextrous slide release, because look at the position of the manual safety. It is very busy right where the slide release is, and if I am, let's say, locked back, actuating it's not a big deal. If I'm locked back here, insert fresh mag, and I try to hit that, the safety is impeding everything to get to that slide release. Granted, a manual safety, as it has been shown before, isn't needed.
Right.
Granted, this is a much heavier trigger compared to the lighter AXG Legion, but I will say, inserting on this guy, oh, that's much better. I prefer that quite a bit more, but other than that,
I'll give another pro also, that flared mag well also.
Oh,
I mean, that's so much easier there. It does take away from your single double action that you did have with the other 226.
Right.
But
it's single action only.
Single action only on the newer model.
Right. And but personally, I don't mind the decocker. I think it's a fun little feature anyway, because you know, if you do have it cocked back and you want to, you know, decock it. You just kind of ride the hammer up. Right. Some people find that to be very unsafe, things like that. So if you wanted to have a decocker, I would rather have the decocker than the manual safety in this case.
Fully agree.
Yeah, but I also see why they added the manual safety because of how light the trigger is. Get over it. So that's how I feel about that. Love the grips and everything else about it. Fantastic. Heavier gun, but again, it's the Legion, so it is the full metal frame. Again, obviously this has competition written all over it, and I think you guys, the moment you put your hands on it, would realize that this is an ergonomic, for the most part, minus that one little point there, very ergonomic, very comfortable filling pistol. So with all that, number 5, and that's why it is number 5, the Sig 226 Legion XFive. Now let's move on to our number 4 pick. This next one up was something that caught our eyes back at the NRA annual meet, and was something that we talked about like prior to SHOT Show though, because we heard about the Oracle 2311 coming out, which is ultimately like a 2011 that takes Sig P320 mags. Gotcha. They're like, why hasn't somebody come out with like a striker fired 2011 Glock magazine?
That would make sense.
You know what I mean?
Make a lot of sense.
Well, that's what the guys over at Stealth Arms ultimately did with the Platypus, and we saw this at the NRA annual meet, and it really, it caught me by surprise. I was like, this is actually really cool. I got to handle it, things like that. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to shoot it or do much more with it since then, but I feel like the possibilities are there. The potential is there. And the fact that it takes Glock magazines, which are just a little bit more reliable than 2011 magazines, maybe a lot more reliable. And also you have them in all sorts of different variations. If you wanted drum mags, if you wanted stick mags, if you just wanted the flush 17 round mag, you can do all of that with the Platypus by Stealth Arms. And of course they have an entire custom shop where you can build your own gun, which is really cool. And the best part is,
you're about to talk about the price point.
I'm about to talk about that price point. Because for under $1,500 you can get one of these.
That's pretty amazing. And they give you a custom, couple options also, color-wise, Cerakote, things
all
like
of
that,
it.
right?
Yeah, different price points, variations on the Cerakote, things like that. But it really is just an impressive firearm from Stealth Arms, and it's like, okay, Stealth, if you're watching, we've done this a time or two. If you're watching and you'd like to be featured on the channel and maybe just, reviewed, let us know. Comment down below. Maybe just DM us at Classic Firearms Official. Just make sure you're sending it to the legitimate only Classic Firearms, or Magdump_Morgan, or Aaron Suzo. I mean, also. I think it should work just fine. And it's Souza, sorry.
Suzo.
Oh,
you got it right.
Oh, I did get it right.
Why
it's the extra A that I was putting up there.
Extra.
That's what it was. Anyway, so just do that because we want to show your gun off. And that's the conclusion of our number 4. Let's roll into our number 3 pick. For number 3, we decided to go with the CZ DWX. Ultimately, think about your favorite CZ75 pistol and your favorite 9mm 1911 getting together, having a baby, and, well, making the DWX. Since CZ is partnered with Dan Wesson, they have becoming out with like all sorts of just great collaborative pieces, and they have been very, very, just impressive. Yeah. And the CZ DWX is something that I have yet to get my hands on, but I am pretty excited about because you're taking some of your favorite features from, again, the renowned 1911 and the ergonomic CZ75 with the phenomenal trigger, putting those together. Now, it's not just the barrel assembly and slide assembly of the 1911 that you're putting onto the CZ, but think about that straight pull trigger as well, kind of that K design, still hammer fired, of course, but it takes the P10F or the P09 19 round magazines, which, again, if you ask me, is pretty freaking awesome. Full length Picatinny rail underneath also for all of your lights and lasers and gizmos and gadget attachments, and the overall look, fit, finish, which I'm sure is going to be amazing. Like I said, don't have any hands on just yet, but if you've handled any other CZ product, you feel the quality. So I know that you like this gun.
I do.
And the CZ75, and so again, you're taking those same ergonomics on the frame and throwing them now with that a little bit fuller size 1911 upper, I guess you could say, with the slide assembly in the barrel.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you with the ergonomics of this pistol. I mean, if you mix these two together, you can't go wrong.
No.
It's definitely something you can't go wrong with at all.
Right, and something else that I think is really impressive, again, is I am a big fan of how the trigger looks on this one. They call it like their K-style trigger because, well, the framework, the skeletonized parts look kind of like a K, right, and it is straight back. not like your traditional trigger pull where you see it kind of rocks a little bit. Right. It's more of a straight back pull, which some like, some don't. Personally, I am a fan of that. And on top of that, you're getting all of these fabulous features with the fiber optic sights and all the ribbed for your gripping pleasures for about MSRP of just under $2,000 at $19.99. And if you're looking for that next competition pistol, something along those lines, or just really want something to show off to your friends and flex on them, that would probably be an awesome pick. Just throwing it out there. Now, of course, the DWX was released a little bit earlier this year, but perhaps at 2024 SHOT Show, we'll be able to get our hands on it a little bit more now that we know what to look for. And are you guys excited about the DWX? Do you think it was a hit? Do you think it was a miss? And on top of that, just in case you wanted to carry it outside of just, competition use, they also make a compact model. And speaking of SHOT Show, you're going to SHOT this year, right?
I'll be at SHOT Show.
You're darn right you will be. What would you guys like to see? Hold your thoughts actually in your comments, because we're going to be doing a podcast, what to expect at SHOT Show 2024, just like what we did for 2023 SHOT. And we want you guys to comment over there what to see. If you start doing it all over different videos, guys, we put out a lot of content. So we may not see that comment. So if you do, hold off and wait till our podcast dropping our 2024 SHOT Show expectations. That's where you can get all your comments in and what you look forward to seeing and what you want us to go and cover. I think I hit all the talking points.
I think you're good.
All right, cool. Let's move on to our number 2. Number 2, Springfield Armory hit a home run with the Echelon. Except unless you saw our video, just go with the standard mags. We found that the extendo mags might have a little bit of an issue. I mean, I'm not going to try to do it on Kaya's gun. I mean, just throwing it out there. But there was a little bit of issue that fully loaded extended mags and the +2 extension, well, under that pressure and with the momentum of inserting it, the base plate would just
pop off and you have a little yard sale with the ammo?
Yeah, with the spring, the follower, the ammo, all of it just zing.
Yeah, let's go for it. Holy shit! Holy shit! All right, we are not cutting that. We are not cutting that.
So anyway, the Springfield Armory Echelon, outside of that, fantastic pistol. The ergonomics, the controls, everything you get out of the box, fantastic. The looks, I believe, are awesome. And yes, what is it? Modular. So everything you can pretty much ask for in, I don't know, a pistol made in 2023. And then there's the sights. You've got the U-notch sights, like what we see here on Kaya's Echelon, which aren't my favorite. Now, when I did start shooting it a little bit with those, they pick up all right. It's a little bit different, but I actually prefer their iron sights with the traditional 3-dot a bit more, because you still have that kind of subtle U, like this cup that the front sight sits in, but it's not highlighted so well. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I would prefer the U-notch over like the traditional Glock sights, but these over the U-notch. And maybe you'll be able to see what I'm talking about there. But the Echelon, I think, is just a fantastic pistol. Shoots really, really well. Wasn't exactly something I was expecting from a company that told me where to put my, where to grip the gun.
Right.
But at one point, grip zone. And, but trigger, everything feels great. Springfield Armory, good job.
That was definitely a good job.
Before we roll on to our number 1 pick, we have a couple of honorable mentions that came out this year. And one of which I want to talk about is paying homage to the Colt M45 that the Marines actually just recently announced they're getting rid of, which hopefully that does wonders for the surplus market. Maybe we'll get some M45s in. And actually, the very first video I did for Classic was announcing an M45 CQB as a contest gun.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first one. It's not a good video. Don't watch it.
No?
No. But I am actually really excited about that gun, though, because, again, the Marine Special Operations, that's what they were running for a little while. So it was really cool that TSOS came out with the Raider, which paid homage to that at a much more affordable price. On top of that, Gerson introduced the 2311 that we see over here, which when we heard that name and keeping in mind the Oracle 2311, we thought maybe this took SIG 320 mags. No, the year is 2023 and this is a 2311.
I mean, that makes sense.
Checks out too, so I'm not mad about it. But it does actually take Springfield Armory Prodigy magazines. Interesting enough, but this is a polymer framed double stack, obviously, because of the Prodigy magazines. 2311 by Gerson. This one has the integrated red dot, which actually has fiber optics mounted in the back of the red dot as well, which pick up nice and bright. This is a lightweight firearm that surprisingly feels really, really good for the price point that it is at. I mean, you're talking sub $1,000 to get into that 2011 ballpark. I mean, actually, we're talking sub $800, right? Yeah, so that's pretty freaking cool. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, the first thing I thought, I mean, it has that solid look to it. So I was looking, because you don't recognize this as a polymer frame when you first pick it up.
Yeah.
So I was expecting some weight, but as soon as I picked it up, that lightweight feel to it, it's amazing. And then ergonomically, I mean, everything just lines up nice.
It feels good. We'll be definitely running that at the range. And since it looks pretty similar too, we got to go ahead and throw it out there. But unfortunately, we don't have any staccatos in-house. Apparently, you have to have an actual brick and mortar to carry staccato.
They should change that rule.
As if we don't have reach to the whole nation via this thing called the internet. But anyway, the Staccato CS, hands down, has been a very popular and great product for 2023. A lot of people have been really excited about this as their daily carry, and just something that we wanted to acknowledge here. So again, T-Sauce, thanks for commemorating the M45 with your Raider 1911, and of course Gerson bringing out an affordable double stack 2011, even though I know it's called the 2311, just we all get the model, the style, right? So there you have it. And then Staccato, who won't allow other FFLs other than brick and mortars to carry their products, with the Staccato CS, I think is a pretty solid choice.
Agreed.
Anyway, you ready to talk about our number one pick?
Let's go to it.
Let's do it. Our number one pick, well, this one excites me because FN pulled me into the booth at SHOT Show this year, and they said, hey, you know, we see you talk shit about the 509's trigger. Well, take this, feel the trigger on this gun, and what I felt was amazing on their 510 and 545 pistols. This is something brand new. It was great. I'm thinking 15 rounds of 45 and 10 mil, 22 rounds in the extendo mag. The 510 specifically really impressed me because 10 mil is something that I think is actually making, I don't think it ever went away.
No, but it's coming back.
But it's coming back in a really popular way. And I think what FN did with the 510 is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I've got the EOTech red dot on mine with, I mean, it's red dot. You got the Picatinny, threaded barrel, suppressor height sights, striker fired, everything that I could pretty much ever ask for. I think it's...
You say it's the best out there?
I'd say it's, yeah, it's probably the best 10 mil out there.
Sure about that?
The Sig 320 X10 might give it a run for its money, but I'd be willing to say 510 greater than X10.
I don't know. It sounds like something has to be done about this.
Yeah, well, next time when I don't leave my 510 on my nightstand, I will bring it in and we will do that. But
what else is on your nightstand?
it's not what's on, it's what's in my nightstand. Anyway, what we're gonna be talking about right now though is a lot of you have been asking for a review, especially on the live streams that are hosted Monday, Wednesday nights, live streams of the FN 510. Stay tuned, I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out this week, so that way by the time you guys watch this video, the following week, you'll be able to see the review on that. And then, I think a little Clint versus Aaron showdown when it comes to the 10 mil competition over here, because something that really has impressed me with that 510 pistol, it doesn't feel like you're shooting a 10 mil.
Really?
It feels very comfortable. Let me just put it that way. And it's something that has really impressed me. And again, the trigger, yeah, FN, you knocked it out of the park on that one. So, number one for this year, yes, the 545 is super cool too, but you can kind of like just say yes to both of those, but the 10 mil especially in my book. So, that's our list. Let us know what you think down below. Of course, there were a lot to talk about and get to. And, you know, just comment. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that we could have chosen better? Should have shuffled some things around? Let us know down in the